Yo, what's up, friends? So, this is it, hey? Last daf of, or really even just the last amud of Masechta Berachos. So, let's do it. Some interesting little agaritas and whatever. Let's do it. So, we'll start on daf Samach Gimel Amud Beis. 4 lines from the bottom. Continuing on our little thing from yesterday, right? So the rabbis entered into Kerem B'Yavne, and then there were 4 rabbis there. Who could tell me? Who remembers who they were? Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Eliezer ben Osh, Rabbi Yossi Aglili, and Rabbi Nechemia. So we're up to now the final rabbi to speak, which is Rabbi Eliezer ben Osh, Rabbi Yossi Aglili. And he says, Pasuk Rabbi Eliezer ben Osh, Rabbi Yossi Aglili, b'chvod achsanya. Oh, so Rabbi Eliezer ben Osh, Rabbi Yossi Aglili, he, mentioned something in honor of the host. Vidarash, and he expounded. Vayvarach Hashem es Oved Edom ba'avur Aron ha'elokim. Oh, so at one point the Aron, the ark, was residing by the house of Oved Edom, and it says that God blessed the house of Oved Edom on account of the Aron. Velo dvarim kal v'chomer. We can draw kal v'chomer from this. Uma Aron shelo acha v'lo shasa el kibed v'ribetz lefanav kach. Right, the Aron was a very low maintenance guest. Right, he didn't eat, he didn't drink. From time to time, Oved Edom would maybe sweep a little bit to make sure it didn't get dusty. Maybe wash the floors, but really a pretty low maintenance guest. Overall. And yet, it says that God blessed Oved Edom because he hosted the Aron. So, so somebody who hosts a Talmud Chacham, and Imam gives him to eat and epis to drink, and gives him from his property. So certainly then God will reward this host handsomely. What is the blessing that God blessed Oved Edom? So Amar Yehuda bar Zvida zo chamos v'ches chaluseh sheyoldu shisha b'keres echad. Oh, very fancy. So this was Oved Edom's wife Chamos and their 8 daughter-in-laws, who all 9 of them, Chamos and the 8 daughter-in-laws, managed to have sextuplets, 6 children in one pregnancy. That sounds very, very fancy. For a whopping sum of 54 offspring. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, how do you pronounce the name? Pu'ultai? Pu'ultai Hashmini. So it says that in Divrei Yam, when it's counting all of Oved Edom's children, so it says that Pu'ultai was the 8th. And it says, Ki Berachos Elokim, because the Eibishter blessed Oved Edom with a bunch of children. So, and then it also says, Kol ele mibnei Oved Edom hema, uvneim v'acheim ish chayil b'choach la'avoda shishim v'shnayim l'Oved Edom. So it says that basically, Sachakol, Edom had 62 people in his family. So if you take his 8 children plus the 54 that were born to his 8 children, and plus the additional 6 from his wife, so that is 62 people. Alright. So I guess maybe what? So the point is maybe if you have like Talmidei Chachamim in your house, so Kilo, you'll have a lot of children. Alright. Very sweet. Rabbi Avin HaLevi, says Rabbi Avin the Levi. This is cool. This is very, very cool. Kol adochik es ha-sha'a, sha'a dochakto, v'chol nidche mipnei ha-sha'a, sha'a nidches mipanav. Anybody who forces the hour, so in the hour will kind of push back and force him, right? And Rashi brings as an example Avshalom, right? David HaMelech's Avshalom, he was his son Avshalom. He was impatient. He didn't wait until after David's rule in order to rule. He decided that he was just going to make a coup and overthrow David. And what ended up happening? It failed, right? So he tried to force something, and that thing kind of pushed back. Whereas and the opposite, however, whenever the time has come for something to happen, but you might not for whatever reason, you have your reasons and you make a decision that you're not going to accept that right now, and you're going to be patient, and you're going to wait, so then the time will wait for you. And we're going to give an example of what this means. So let's see what this means. Midrabba v'Rav Yosef. We see this from Rabba and Rav Yosef, okay? The Rav Yosef Sinai v'Rabba Oker Harim. So Rav Yosef was a Sinai. Sinai is basically means that Rav Yosef knew lots of Mishnayos and lots of Brises, right? Like on the day that they were given at Mount Sinai. He knew all of it. He had a very broad knowledge of Torah. V'Rabba Oker Harim, right? And Rabba would uproot mountains, right? He didn't necessarily have Rav Yosef's Bekias. He didn't necessarily have that broad knowledge of lots and lots of brises, but he mamish was mifulpal. He was very sharp. He really knew how to ask the right questions and get to the core of the inyan. So it's strichelu shaita, and they needed a Rosh Yeshiva in Pumbedisa. So shalchu la'asam, so they sent to Eretz Yisrael. Interesting that they were sending that when they had to decide who's going to be the Rosh Yeshiva in Pumbedisa, they had to send to Eretz Yisrael. But in any event, they sent to Eretz Yisrael. And they sent Sinai ve'oker harim ezemeim kodim. If we have an option between Sinai, somebody, Rav Yosef, who has lots of bekias, or Rabba, who is very sharp and very deep, so ezemeim kodem, which one has precedence? Should we appoint Rabba as the Rosh Yeshiva, or should we appoint Rav Yosef as the Rosh Yeshiva? Shalchulu Sinai kodem. So they sent back that Sinai is kodem. Preference goes to Rav Yosef, who has a broad knowledge of Torah. Sha'akol tzrichin limare chitya, because everybody needs, people who have a lot of wheat, right? Somebody has a lot of wheat, everybody always needs that, and everyone always needs wheat. So here also, everybody always needs, somebody who just knows a lot of Torah. That takes precedence over somebody who might not know as much, but can go deeper. Okay? Even so, lo kibel Rav Yosef. But nonetheless, Rav Yosef did not accept the position of being Rosh Yeshiva. How come? The Amrle Kalda'e. Interesting, because these Chaldeans said to Rav Yosef, and these Chaldeans apparently were people who knew how to read the stars. And I guess these people told him, it's interesting that Rav Yosef kind of was taking into consideration what he was told by people who read the stars. But these people told him, Malchas Tartein Shnin, that you are going to be Rosh Yeshiva for 2 years. So Rav Yosef figured, well, okay, if I become Rosh Yeshiva now, that means that I will be Rosh Yeshiva for 2 years, and I'll die in 2 years from now. However, if I defer it, and I say, you know what, why don't we let Rabba be the Rosh Yeshiva, then Rabba can be the Rosh Yeshiva for however long he's Rosh Yeshiva. After him, I'll be Rosh Yeshiva for 2 years, and then I'll die, but at least I'll live all the extra time while Rabba is Rosh Yeshiva. So Malach Rabba Esrim v'Tartan Shnin. So Rabba was the Rosh Yeshiva for 22 years. Malach Rav Yosef Tartan Shnin Ufalga. And then after Rabba died, so then Rav Yosef became the Rosh Yeshiva in Pumbedisa for 2.5 years, and then he died. And then we say that Kol Hanach Shnei the Malach Rabba Afilu Oman Levese Lokara, that all of the 22 years that Rabba was Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Yosef didn't even call a doctor to come to his house. Kilu, if Rav Yosef needed to do bloodletting, Rav Yosef would go to the bloodletter himself. He would never, as long as Rabba was the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Yosef did not do anything that would indicate that he has that position whatsoever. He completely deferred it until after Rabba was done, and then he became Rosh Yeshiva. So what do we see here? We see that Rav Yosef was patient, and even though the time was calling him to say, okay, you can be Rosh Yeshiva now, he had to make a cheshbon and say, no, I'm going to wait. And sure enough, the position was there for him when he was ready for it, right? So we see that when people are impatient and they try to force the moment, so then they might not succeed. Whereas if somebody's patient, and even if you have an opportunity right now, but for whatever reason you have to make a calculation that this isn't the best time for you, so it'll be there later. Don't worry. Pretty cool. Okay. V'amar Rabbi Avin Alevi, says Rabbi Avin Alevi, Mai dichsev, what is that which is written? Yancha Hashem b'yomtzar yisagev Hashem Eloke Yankiv, right? That God will answer you on a day of troubles. The God of Jacob will give you strength. Elokei Yaakov v'lo Elokei Avram v'Yitzchak, right? Specifically, the God of Jacob will help you on a difficult day, not the God of Abraham and Isaac. How come? So we see from here that if somebody owns a beam and they have to transport that beam from one place to another place, so the person who owns the beam should really take the lion's share of the lifting. You shouldn't leave it to other people. So here also, Yaakov Avinu, right, he had 12 children, right? He had to work really hard to raise them, right? And therefore, if we're having a hard time and we need help, right, and Kilu, we need help in our growth, in our lives, so we ask for the God of Jacob, because it was Jacob who went through all of the trouble of raising all of his children and making sure that they had good lives. Okay. From Rabbi Avin Alevi, anybody who gets benefit from a feast that a Talmid Chacham is there, it's as if he is getting benefit from the radiance of the divine presence. Shneimar, as the pasuk says, that it says that Aaron and all the elders of Israel went to eat bread with the father-in-law of Moshe before God. What do you mean they ate bread before God? They ate bread before Moshe. So rather to tell you, rather it's to tell you that anybody who gets benefit from a Suda that a Talmid Chacham is there, in this case that was Moshe, it's as if they were eating bread in front of God, it's as if they were getting benefit from the radiance of the Shekhinah. Rabbi Avin Halevi, and says Rabbi Avin Halevi, Aniftar mechavero, somebody who leaves his friend, Al Yomar lo lech bishalom, he shouldn't say go bishalom, in peace, El lech lishalom, say go to peace. Sharei Yisro shamar lo leMoshe lech lishalom, olavi tzliach, because when Yisro, right, Moshe, when he had to go to Egypt to help out the Chevra, right, his brothers and sisters who were enslaved in Egypt, so Yisro said, Lech lishalom, go to peace. And sure enough, as we know, Moshe succeeded. David shamar lo la'avshalom lech bishalom halach v'nisla. Right. However, David, when he said to Avshalom said to David, I have to go to Hebron to offer a few sacrifices. Of course, that's when Avshalom went to Hebron and led his coup. So, in that case, when Avshalom told David, I want to go to Hebron, David said, Lech bishalom, and sure enough, look what happened. And Avshalom did not succeed. He ended up getting killed. And all the mess that endured, or something, whatever. Oh, everything that happened after that as well, all the Avshalom story. Fine. Rabbi Avin Halevi, said Rabbi Avin Halevi, Haniftar min ames, somebody who's leaving a dead body. So apparently what they would do is when somebody would die, they would have to take the body from one city to the next or whatever. So basically, you would have people escorting the body from one city to the next, and then they would go back home, and then the new people would take over, etc., until they got to, I guess, wherever they were burying the mace. So when they would switch the group of people, so the people that were leaving and going back home, so they would say something. What would they say? So, haniftar min ames al yomar lech lishalom ela lech bishalom. So, what they would say to the mace before they passed on the mace to the next group of people is they would say lech bishalom, go in peace. Shnemar va'ata tavu el avosecha bishalom, as God said to Avraham Avinu that you ultimately will go to your fathers in peace. And it says over there bishalom. Amr bilevi bar chia hayotzim beis hakneses v'nichnas leveis hamedrash. Somebody who goes from the synagogue into the study hall, v'osek b'Torah, and he studies Torah, zoche makabel pnei shechina, he will merit to receive the face of the heavenly presence. That is awesome, of the divine presence. Shneimar yelchu michael el chayil yirah el elokim b'tzion, that they will go from strength to strength and be seen to God in Zion. That's awesome. Amr Rabbi Chia, so from strength to strength is from the synagogue to the Beit Midrash. Amr Rabbi Chia bar Ashi Amar Rav, Talmidei Chachamim ein loim menucha ba'olam hazeh v'lo ba'olam haba. That Torah scholars do not have any rest, not in this world and not in the world to come. Shneimar, as it says, Yelchu Michael el Chayil Yirah el Elokim b'Tzion, that they will go from strength to strength, even from strength in this world where they're studying Torah and they're busy, to strength in the next world where they're studying Torah and they're busy. They will be seen before God in Zion. Now this is very interesting because it's super interesting. If you look back on the Yud Zayin Amud Aleph, guess what Rav says over there? he says, Lo kol olam hazeh olam haba. This world is not like the world to come. Ha'olam haba ein bo lo achila v'lo shtiya v'lo pirya v'rivya v'lo masu matan v'lo kina v'lo sina v'lo sachros. El tzadikim yoshim v'atroseim b'rosheim v'nenem miziv hashchina. Then the world to come, the tzaddikim don't have to worry about anything. They just sit with their crowns on their heads, and they get benefit from the radiance of the Shechina. And over here we're saying the Talmidei Chachamim don't have menucha in Olam Hazeh or in Olam Haba. They're very busy the whole time. So it's the same Rav, right? It's Rav Chia bar Ashi Amar Rav. Maybe, I don't know, I just noticed now that over there it says tzaddikim sit there and get benefit with the crowns on their heads. Over here it's Talmidei Chacham. Maybe there's an afkamina between tzaddikim and Talmidei Chacham. I don't know. It's very interesting that on Daf Yud Zayin he says how basically Olam Haba they're just going to chill out. Over here he's saying at Olam Haba they're going to be busy learning. Either one sounds good. I don't know. Honestly, I connect more with this one, with the be busy with learning. But maybe that's just because I'm already accustomed in my ways from this life. Amar Rabbi Elazar, Amar Rabbi Chanina, says the holy Rabbi Elazar in the name of Rabbi Chanina, Talmidei Chacham Marbim Shalom Ba'olam, that Torah scholars increase peace in the world. Shneimar, as the pasuk says, V'chol banaich limudei Hashem, that all of your children will be students of God. V'rav Shalom banaich, and great will be the peace of your children. Atikei banaich ele bonaich. Don't read it will be the peace of your children, but rather the peace of your builders. I don't know why Talmidei Chacham are referred to as builders. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know. Do we have a reference anywhere? Does anybody remember anywhere in the Masechta maybe that we talked about Talmidei Chacham being referred to as builders? If you remember something, I would love to see it. I was trying to look around, see if I could find anything. I couldn't find anything. But if you remember maybe a reference to Talmidei Chacham being builders, I would love that, because that would really tie together this Gemara, this Brisa, especially because it's a very famous Brisa that we say all the time, right? At the end of davening, Ein Kelokeinu. And then I don't know, the way I understand this, I think then once we're talking about peace, Kilu, the Gemara just kind of talks about ends up talking about a few psukim of peace. Shalom Rav lo have Yisor, there shall be great peace to those who love your Torah. Ve'namu michshol, they will have no failures. Yishalom b'chelech, there shall be peace in your legions. Shalva b'avonosayich, serenity in your castle, in your abode. L'man achai v're'ai, adabun shalom bach, for my brothers and friends, I speak peace to you. L'man beis Hashem Elokeinu avak shetov lach. This is the house of the Lord, right? Shlomo Kabach song. This is the house of the Lord. I don't know, I request good for you. Hashem oz la'amo yitin, Hashem v'arech sam v'shalom. God gives strength to His nation. He blesses His nation with peace. I bless you all with peace. Thank you so much for studying Masechta Berachos with me. I very, very, very much enjoyed studying it with you. And I look forward to continuing this study together, because of course the study of Torah never ends. Tomorrow I look forward to studying Masechta Shabbos with you. Looking forward. Have a great, great day. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Peace.